Welcome to CRE with CBC Worldwide podcast. My name is Ashley Wilson, and I'm the National Senior Manager of Culture and Growth for CBC. You are listening to Market Tales, and today is a really special episode because I am not plugged into a computer talking to someone in a different time zone or walls away from me. I am in the office at CBC Atlantic sitting with Hannah Kamba today, and it is just such a delight feel like look at the person I'm talking to and know that you exist in three
I'm
dimensions.
here.
So let's just get to it. Hannah,
Hi.
how did you get into real estate?
Hey, thank you so much for having me, Ashley. It's been a long journey. I've been in commercial real estate for about 12 years now. So, right out of college, went to college at Charleston and thought I wanted to be a wedding planner, as most young girls do. And, I grew up in California originally. So, moved across the country and my dad lived out in Myrtle Beach. So I thought all of South Carolina was like Myrtle Beach. So, I come across College of Charleston once I graduated high school and just fell in love with the history of it and knew that weddings was a big part of Charleston and its culture. And, it's gorgeous. Every, lady wants to get married under an oak tree. I mean, who doesn't? I mean, stunning. So I graduated from College Charleston with dual majors, hospitality and tourism management and business admin. And, I was serving tables in college and, doing weddings on weekends, which was, during wedding season, it's, all the best months in Charleston. So April, May, June, and then, it kind of gets slower during, the summer months, but then September, October, November picks back up. So I was really busy in college and I worked really, really hard. Um, and doing school and then working on the side doing, restaurant gigs and serving tables and then doing that. But yeah, I came across this job because my mom was, she did real estate my whole life. So since I was 10 years old, she's been a realtor. She was in residential in California and then, was doing commercial here in Charleston. And she started working with Brent at Coldwell Banker in Charleston. And I was working as the dining room manager at a yacht club in Charleston. And I think, that kind of atmosphere coming from California to a yacht club that was, male dominated, they allowed women members. It was just not the right fit. But, it led me to this amazing career, which I'm just so thankful for. I didn't think I wanted to be in real estate like my mom. So, that wasn't in my path of where I had seen myself, but, yeah, I worked as Brent's assistant for 7 years and then, transitioned myself into that into full-time brokerage and been here ever since and love it.
Wow, I love that story. I love that you have that hospitality background. I also came from hospitality, and that is a special skill that not everyone has when you're around people all the time,
Yeah,
right? To be able to read people
yeah.
and and also, to put this lightly, how to deal with people.
Yeah. It humbles you. Yes, rubbing their food off your, dishes. Right?
Right? Right? And the smile and nod,
Yes.
that customer service face, that customer service voice, it goes a long way, and it's something that you just have to learn along the way,
Yeah.
right? And not everyone has it. Not everyone's cut out for that kinda life.
No,
Um,
I agree.
so moving into commercial real estate, what are some things that I guess kinda prepared you for this new career that you learned from hospitality?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely humbles you, going from hospitality. I mean, it's very service oriented. So, Brent always talks about anytime there's a new agent, if you have some kind of restaurant experience, you know, sales is king. And if you have that sales experience of selling to, even just someone at a restaurant, that's still sales experience. You're
Mhm.
still looking at, getting your bill up and making a commission, if you will. So, I think it translates really well into commercial real estate, but,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you could be upselling, like, the catch of the day, or you could
Yeah.
be or you
Yeah.
could trying like, lease some space
Yes.
on a for a restaurant in a shopping center.
Yes.
That's a great I never thought about it that way, that it's
Mhm.
the commission off the bill,
Yeah, of
right?
course. You're trying to get as much as you can, but also still, have them be happy and come back and,
Yeah.
I mean, you're working there to try to win people over so they become, second time customers, third time customers. A lot of my people that I was serving tables for, I was working with them for a long time. And then also in the wedding industry as well, dealing with difficult people, bridezillas, groomzillas, mother of the brides, father of the brides, dealing with different personality types is a big part of your job here. So, and learning how to combat those and, learning how to work with all different personalities, but also calming people down. This is the biggest day of their life, wedding planning. Well, also when you're buying real estate, sometimes that's also a really big monumental moment. So,
Right. That's a
yeah.
huge investment. Just like you're investing in your future when you're marrying someone, you're investing in your future when
Investment.
yeah, that's a huge investment.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for analogies, so I'm geeking out over all of these right now.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
so let's talk about, your market. We're in North Charleston,
Yes.
South Carolina right now. Beautiful Charleston. You mentioned already that it's, like, very historical. We have this beautiful port city. So for those people that aren't aware of what the Charleston real estate market is like, share that with us.
Yeah, so, and, Charleston has been named, number 1 city in, travel and leisure and Condé Nast multiple times over and over for, decades. And, one of the reasons is because, we're surrounded by water. The quality of life is great. Coming from California as a, just graduated high school, there's little opportunities for me to go buy my first home and be able to afford that. Coming to Charleston, there are affordable homes and you're living in a gorgeous place that's rich in history and rich in, food and bev. I'm a big foodie. So that was a big draw for me to come out here is to, be in the foodie scene and, get to experience that. And then plus the historic side's also amazing. But yeah, I mean, it's just a beautiful, gorgeous city. And the quality of life is just, top notch.
And is it still really booming as far as expansion and
Yeah, I mean, the city in general is, I feel like it's a unique, city that, you know, there's not a lot of vacancy. The turnover rate can be high for restaurants. I try to specialize in retail and restaurants and, particularly downtown market on King Street, there's turnover, a significant amount of turnover, but, that's because this is a booming city and a lot of restaurants have to keep up with that. And, that to me meant it is very high. Vacancy rates are low, rental rates are high, especially on King Street. I mean, you can get up to north of $100 a square foot, which is a lot. New York we're more, 20s, 30s, but, retail downtown Charleston comes at a pretty penny.
well, and that's historic property. So do you guys have, like, um, tricky situations where you had to abide by any kind of historic regulations in those spaces that
Yeah.
kinda get in the way?
Yes, sometimes. I mean, definitely building codes and regulations. I mean, we have a BAR, it's the Board of Architectural Review. So, the city of Charleston's very particular of the color that you paint an exterior and, there are definitely some hoops that you have to jump through, but, I think that it's worth it.
Oh,
You
absolutely.
wanna be downtown, I mean, it always comes at a cost to have something premium of a product like that.
Right. Because, like, think about that walk-in business. I mean,
Yeah.
people come here for tourism, they just walk up and down King
Yeah,
Street.
and if people
There's
don't
a
know
hot
about
minute place.
the city, I mean, it's a very walkable city. King Street especially, you can walk all of King Street, within an hour, not even, maybe 30 minutes. So, it's got some great restaurants. We have a lot of, influence coming in from New York and Boston and Chicago from, top restaurant tours that are wanting to open up here. And, we just have a lot of really amazing foodie scenes here. It's amazing if you, look at it, eater and you come up with those other descriptions. I mean, we're all over the place. Charleston's on the map for sure.
Absolutely, and I'm close by, so it's not a far drive for
Yeah.
me, but, I think the last time my husband and I were down here, it rained,
Oh, yeah.
and it did not stop us from having fun.
Yeah.
We still ate and drank our way up and down King Street, you know? We didn't have to suffer through the hot sun.
Yeah.
We were just soaking wet instead, but so was everyone else.
That's the
Uh,
best way to do it.
yeah.
Yep.
Alright, so let's move into kind of more storytelling,
Okay.
right? So tell me about a time that you had a deal or a transaction, a special listing, um, and how you won it and what you think made that a success.
Yeah, I love this story, because it's one that I'm really proud of. So I mentioned that I was an assistant for 7 years, which I highly recommend when you get into commercial real estate that you have some kind of mentorship. I was really blessed to get paired with Brent, and he has opened the doors for so many possibilities for me, but, that mentorship has been really crucial in my careers, especially. But, when I was first started, kinda coming about commercial real estate and kinda getting my feet warm with some of my own deals, aside from Brent. He gave me this little one that, he thought was gonna be a little one, and it was with, a pretzel franchise. And so it's supposed to be just this small 1,000 square foot retail deal of, helping this little, mom and pop. It was a father-son duo of this, pretzel company. And, I met with them. I tried, I just put all hands on deck. They were they were my baby client. I wanted to do so well with them. And, from that experience of helping them with their pretzel brand, the dad was a big time window, maker. He made custom windows and, for historic homes in New York. So he wanted to bring that business to Charleston to be closer to his son. So once I, proved myself as being, somebody that really knew what she was doing and really helpful with their business and with their planning of their real estate with their pretzel company, he wanted help finding a house, which I do a little bit of residential here and there for my clients especially, but he wanted to find a home here in Charleston, so I helped him find a home. And then his son wanted to sell his house, so then I helped him sell his house. And then his father wanted to buy an industrial complex for his window business. So out of that tiny little 1,000 square foot retail deal, it ended up being 4, maybe even almost 5 transactions that I ended up doing with that family. And then having this incredible referral source of their friends, family members, and, that just led to so many other opportunities for me, and it was just, something that I'll never forget because it was just something that kinda got pushed on my table like, "Oh, here you go. Here's this tiny little deal. I don't have time for this little guy, but here, see if you can help him." And lo and behold, it ended up being, tens of thousands of dollars in my when I was just getting started, which was just huge for
Yeah.
me to have, that ended up being a really big deal for me.
That's incredible. And do you still keep in touch with
Oh, of
them?
course, they send me Christmas gifts every single year to this day. That was, like, 10 years ago. Yeah, I get, caramel apples every single year from them. It's so sweet. They sent me baby gifts, when I had my 2 kids. So, yeah, they're an adorable family, and I, really appreciate their support. And everyone who's just getting started, don't think of it like, "Oh, it's this tiny little deal." It could be so much more, you just don't know. And, just put as much effort as you can into these small clients, that you think they're small because you just never know. I mean, it could lead to bigger, bigger things, bigger opportunities, and you just have to treat everyone equally as if they're the biggest fish you have.
Yeah. Yep. They're your fish in the moment,
Yes,
right?
they are.
Yep. You mentioned that you have 2 kids. My son, yeah. Yeah, 2 babies. How old are they?
So I have a 3-year-old oldest and a 17-year-old. Those are my
Oh my
youngest.
goodness. So
Sophie and
cute.
Peter. They're adorable.
Yeah. And you never stopped while having 2 kids.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
You were a full-time broker the entire time.
Yes.
So what
Yes.
was what was that like? I mean, obviously it was chaotic and there was moments that you're like, "Why am I doing this? What am I doing?" But I know in the long run it's worth it,
Yes.
right? So tell us kind of like maybe what you've learned in parenthood that also improved your business or vice versa, what you've learned here being a broker that made you a better mom.
Yeah. They are my whole world, they are adorable, and yes, I was not on staff when I had my children, so there was no maternity leave, or any, book that told me, I have to go back to work at a certain time, so I kinda gradually, let myself back in by reading emails and kinda going on Zoom calls and slowly got my feet wet, and then as soon as, I was able, I was coming back in. It takes a village, you need to have help. I have an amazing nanny now. My mom is that I've mentioned, she's also, an amazing grandmother, so having extra set of hands really helps. just so it's not all on you. But, you know, I'm a multitasker. I am an expert at multitasking, and that comes with being here at the office and also being at home with my kids.
Right.
But I tell everybody, that I work with here, I'm like, my time here is extremely precious to me. I pay, a penny, uh, a massive amount of money per hour, and I have to also, be able to make that up when I'm here. So every single second counts. And I work, 3 times as hard because I know that those seconds and that time really counts when I'm not home with my kids. So I really try to work as hard as I can, and I think everyone here knows that I'm a workhorse 100%. And, I think that's really helped be a mom is learning how to prioritize, but then also, what's super important to me, when I'm here is me working for my clients. And when I'm at home, it's working for my kids. So you gotta kind of be able to shut that off a little bit, but, everyone knows you can always text me when I'm at home. But getting your feet wet and kinda coming back gradually versus this hard stop, that most moms kinda have to have. I didn't, that's hard. I get that. I got kind of slowly come back in and, but, just as much as it takes a village back home, it takes a village here too. So I had some help, along the way. Our broker supports here are awesome.
Yes, they are. You have an incredible office staff
Yeah,
and marketing staff, and I mean, I know a lot of people in this office, and they're all just the salt of the earth,
yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Um,
We're very lucky.
you are very lucky, and I could see this your face lighting up when you talked about your kids, but
Yeah.
also when you talk about your business, your face does almost the exact
Yeah,
same thing. So you have that
I
passion,
do.
right? That really drives your priorities while you're here, and you're like uber focused on it,
Yes.
but you're focused on it here because you do it for them,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, yeah. And I have that mama bear mentality for both my children and my clients. No one's gonna mess with
I love that. Don't mess with my clients
It's
either.
like I'm fiercely loyal and, I work really hard for both. So, I think everyone really respects that I work with as my clients and, it translates well into my family life.
I love that. So, because I know there's probably some working moms listening to this, even in like commercial real estate, like both sections of that, it's all about the hustle, and the multitasking that you mentioned.
Yeah.
I think that whether you were a multitasker before you became a mom or not, you certainly are one now.
You are.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to.
Yes, you do, especially with 2 babies. I mean, they were 20 months apart when, I gave birth. So it's just yeah, it's chaos, but it's also really fun, and you can do both very easily. You just have to have that mindset, and that drive. I mean, I love what I do though. And when I come here, it doesn't feel like work. I mean, I really mean that. I love what I do. I love being in the restaurant, helping restaurants open. I love, the stories. So, you know,
Yeah, and having those connections too with the local restaurateurs and, um, I bet you have almost like a different level of respect. They have a different level of respect for you because you were in the business.
yeah.
Right? You're not just someone that's out there trying to help them and sell it, like, you've been where they are, not as an owner, but, like, you have pushed up your sleeves and you have scraped dishes and you've probably washed dishes, you've cleaned up bathroom floors, you've done it all the side work, you've done it all,
Oh, yeah.
right? You do all this other side work, like research and
And change
change
diapers.
diapers, broken deals, and negotiating.
Yes, build portfolios and build forts all in the same day. I mean,
It's great. My kid is really into building forts right now.
I do.
And everything is a fort. I just gave up. I'm like, "My whole house is a fort. I'm okay with
Yeah.
that. If he's happy, he whatever. I will work inside the fort with my laptop if I have to." And I have. So what do you think the market here in North Charleston or Charleston in general, what do you think is gonna happen in that retail, restaurant space the next 12 to 18 months?
Yeah, I mean, the retail sector is really taking off, especially downtown Charleston. There's so many national luxury brands that are wanting to open up here. We have this pop-up store, it's called Bill Harbor in Mount Pleasant, that is 40 different luxury brands that pop up here for, an extended amount of time. So companies like Tiffany's and Valentino have popped up here. But on King Street, our flagship stores are Gucci and Louis Vuitton, and Saison just opened up their store on King Street, right where the Charleston Place Hotel is. And, that has a huge impact on our retail sector here. And, we see these luxury brands of hotels coming into Charleston too. The Cooper is one of them. You've probably seen them when you flew in or whenever you're downtown, but it's the one that's right by the pineapple fountain
Oh,
downtown.
yeah.
Yep,
Okay.
that's going to be really amazing. But then also Four Seasons is coming, so we have a lot of luxury components that are circling, Charleston, and that's gonna have a big impact on, the real estate market in general for Charleston. It's just gonna keep going up. I mean, vacancy rates are low, rental rates are high, especially downtown, but, that has a big impact on the whole city as a whole.
Did y'all see, um, like, a mass exodus, like, during COVID because of retail couldn't be open, and did that impact you as heavily as it did in other markets, or do you think y'all are bouncing back a lot easier?
I think we're bouncing back a lot easier. I mean, turnover rates are pretty high, but that's not because, of COVID necessarily. I mean, COVID definitely had an impact on everybody, Charleston especially. But, we're a very unique city where, people still want to eat and drink and go out in Charleston. And, I think that no, I feel like we are a unique city in that aspect where it didn't have a huge impact. But, restaurants, the biggest thing with restaurants right now is it's really difficult to find second generation restaurant space. So the tenant having to come out of pocket for, brand new cold dark chill space, meaning there's no HVAC, there's no electrical, there's no plumbing, that's really big expense, especially for these newer shopping centers. A lot of tenants that are the smaller guys, we can't afford that, So having second generation restaurant spaces where they can come in and take over the infrastructure of an existing restaurant is very valuable for a lot of these smaller guys, which I think Charleston really wants to have a lot of those mom and pops.
Yes.
We don't wanna be in, the high end luxury brands, but that's what we're coming to because it's so expensive, but these little companies can't pay $100 per square foot.
Yeah.
But, what I love about North Charleston, um, Hanahan's on the spotlight right now. There's a lot of really cool and different restaurant concepts coming out there that I'm really excited about. So, that these smaller submarkets have some opportunity, where these smaller, mom and pop places can grow. I love we watched Top Chef recently, King Barbecue and Jack Rabbit Gillies, the chef from there is on that show
Yes.
and, went into, North Carlson, Park Circle, and, Rivers Avenue, which I love that because that's where people are trying to go, that's where the cool hip spots are gonna be. So
I was just down there for lunch today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I saw all those places. We ate at the Mexican place down there, and I also saw that Tattooed Moose, which is just right down the road from here. They were on, Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives,
Yes.
right, with Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
Um, so a lot of national attention for sure in the restaurant scene here.
Yes.
Now Hanahan, is that what you said?
Yeah, hand.
I think I passed signs for that. Is that east of here?
Yes.
Or no, west of here?
Yes, west of here. So it's, Brent Case at my office, he's our broker in charge. He has a shopping center that he developed that's a former Piggly Wiggly. And we have a lot of really cool restaurant concepts coming in there. Cane Pazzo is one of them, and, he's super talented, all over eater right now. I mean, it's really difficult to get a dinner reservation, but, yeah, just some of these really interesting new concepts that are coming to North Charleston, this general area. A lot of people wanna go to Somerville right now. That's
Okay.
another big develop development that's going on called Nexton. So that's bringing, a lot of new homes and a lot of new home growth and just a lot of new retail and restaurants that are wanting to move to that area to kinda capture that. But yeah, our city's on fire.
Yeah,
It's fun.
I am looking forward to next time I come back, I'm like, "Alright, Hannah, I need you to tell me, like, the top 5 places I need to eat while I'm
I'm
here."
the one and the
Yeah.
on everyone comes to me and wants to know, "Where's the best place to go?" Brent will call me, he's like, "Where should I go tonight?" I'm like, "Well, you don't have a reservation, that's gonna be tough."
They're like, "I'm connected, so I'm not that well connected." Like, you can, like, get a last minute reservation. Well, definitely next time I'm here, we're gonna have to check that out. We're gonna go through the list. Um, but I love all the development that's going on here. And if for anyone that's listening and you are wanting to open up a restaurant, Hannah is your person to call in North Charleston or that Charleston area. And she knows the ins and outs of everything. Would be love to help you. So thank you so much for being on the guest today. Um, a couple of things that you mentioned, just like in a quick recap when you said the small deal, and it really wasn't that small because it led to so many other things, I started thinking about, well, might be small, but you had such a big impact on them
Right.
that it led to a big impact for you,
Yeah.
right? And treating everyone exactly the same as if they are your only client in that moment. I mean, that's huge because I know that you guys are juggling so much
Yeah.
all the time. And to be able to have that focus and that attention to detail, which I think also really comes from that wedding planning
Yeah.
background too.
Course.
Yeah, like
Yeah, you gotta be meticulous.
you have to be very meticulous for that sort of thing. So you don't want anyone to call you out on something that you missed.
Yeah.
Right? That's the worst thing. Um,
And one of the biggest things that I have learned is reading those leases, man. I mean, you gotta really I mean, I have read thousands of leases, and I'm not an attorney, but I have they all have very similar sections and similarities in every single lease I've ever read. So, really understanding those paragraphs and that really protect and help your clients. And if you can protect your clients and kind of guide them and and help, along the way of some of those deal transactions of those certain paragraphs and really understand them and know, what your clients' businesses require of those, just to protect them, that's gonna, help tenfold in getting that business and gaining that business. If you can help them and protect them and really, expand on that, and they're gonna wanna come back to you each and every time because you help them, and didn't even realize they needed your help,
right.
So just understanding that. I would say the biggest thing that I've learned is reading all of the leases because that has helped me tremendously.
That's great advice to end on.
Mhm.
I love it. Read all the leases
Yes.
and protect them. And that might also come from your mama instincts,
Yes.
right? Because that's your number one job is to protect Mama Bear Hannah Kamba. You heard it here. Well, thank you again so much. I cannot tell you how much fun it is to actually talk to someone in person. So thank
Yeah,
you.
this has been so fun.
It has been so fun. Well, for everyone that's listening, thank you so much. And if you like the podcast, please share it with everybody else. The more listeners, the better. And also, until next time, may your ventures be filled with success and your stories continue to inspire.